here, and before this video starts, I have a bit of an explanation of why this wasn't uploaded yesterday, the 11th. My internet is kind of iffy, and yesterday it was really bad. The upload time was like 3 hours or something like that, where compared to it's usually like 10 minutes at like the most. So I decided to just hold it off until today, Friday the 12th. So I'm going to upload both the Big Boss Man vs. Undertaker and the Cactus Jack vs. Triple H. They should be uploaded around the same time, probably within like 15 minutes of each other at most. So apologies. That's probably about it for this little thing. So I'm gonna get back to the video now. See you guys either tomorrow or Monday. Here and welcome back to my Hell in a Cell reviews. This is the third match I'm going to review. It is Wrestlemania 15, The Undertaker versus Big Boss Man. I don't think it was for anything. I think it was just because Vince wanted it. So this one's going to be a bit quick, so don't expect a super long video on this one. Okay, it was heel versus heel, which makes no sense because there's no one to cheer for. Bossman at the time was Vince McMahon's enforcer in the corporation, and obviously Undertaker was his Ministry of Darkness at the time. He was the Devil Undertaker, pretty much. So odd. But anyway, no real story went in. The crowd didn't care that much. Undertaker immediately got on offensive, but Big Boss Man got a neck breaker to, take Undertaker down. Taker then overpowered him, throwing him into the cage outside the ring. And then Boss Man threw Undertaker face first into the cell. This is, I'm pretty sure, one of the first times we've actually seen the cell, be actually used for a weapon. Like the actual cell itself. Not climbing on top of it or anything like that, unless I missed something in the original. Because I know the 1998 didn't really do that. They kind of relied on the two spots throughout the match. So, anyway, when Undertaker got thrown face first into the cell, the crowd gave no reaction. The crowd was absolutely dead for this match. They did nothing. Bossman then took out some handcuffs and cuffed Taker to the cell. Then he got his nightstick. He hit Undertaker in the head with it. Ow. Undertaker then fell to the ground, so the cuff came off, because that's how handcuffs work. Yep. After the nightstick hit, Undertaker bladed, and I don't know how the nightstick would cut him open, but it did. Wasn't too much blood, which obviously the Attitude Era did not like that much. Undertaker then came back to life with a choke, and then he whipped Bossman into the cell. The crowd that really didn't do anything. So when you're watching on the network, you can actually hear Paul Bearer talking trash to Bossman because the crowd is silent throughout, so you can just hear pretty much everything that happens. Anyway, after that, Undertaker hit Bossman with a chair in the back, and then he rammed him face first into the cage. The crowd still didn't care. I watched it. Meh. I thought it was not... It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it also really sucked. And it didn't help that the crowd was literally silent throughout the entire thing. Anyway, Undertaker hit his leaping clothesline for 2. Bossman then countered the old school clothesline with a kick to the ropes, which made Undertaker fall from the ropes and land on his balls. Ow. Anyway, when they got back into the ring, they had a slugfest. Undertaker won by punching him in the balls because there's no DQ in this match. Obviously, it's in Hell in a Cell. Bossman then reversed the tombstone. No one cared, and then Undertaker actually hit him with the normal tombstone. That was the only pop that they got. and then Undertaker covered him for the 3 at 9 minutes 48 seconds, and he became 8-0 at WrestleMania. Now, my thoughts on this match. They aren't. Oh wait, hold on. No, I'll get to that in a minute. The match itself, it was boring. It wasn't that good. The crowd was dead throughout, but I've seen worse. I have seen worse. Yeah, there was not much psychology between the two. They were not really good to work together. So, and obviously it didn't matter because like 2 months later, Vince did his little "it was me all along" thing, which led to the corporate ministry happening. So they pretty much worked together anyway in the end. So no real point. I'll get to my rating in a second, but first I have to go over what happened at the end of the match. Undertaker then signaled to the top, which led to Gangrel, Edge, and Christian, the Brood, dropping down from the roof. They tried to rip their way into the top of the cell. They passed Undertaker and Noose. Yeah, if you don't know where this is going, God. Then they raised up to the top of the building again. Undertaker put the noose on Bossman's neck. Bearer pushed the button so the cell would rise up, and as the cell went up, Bossman tried to fight it, and he ended up being hung from the cell. What a stupid thing to do. His body went limp, the lights went out, Cole's wondering if it was symbolic. No. No. Oh, God. No. Anyway, I'm going to give this match, see, I rate it out of 10, so I think I'm going to give it like a 3, maybe. 3 out of 10 seems like a fair rating for a match that no one really cared, and no one includes it when they talk about Hell in a Cell. Other than the last few moments, no one really remembers anything from it, so. It's like certain matches, no one remembers them except for certain moments. Like the match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at Royal Rumble 1998, which ended with Shawn getting injured. No one remembers anything but that moment, or like the moment after where Kane set him on fire. No one remembers anything about it. Just another match. But anyway, 3 out of 10, which is going to lead to the end of this little review. This one is like half the time as the other one. Alright then, that's about it for the third Hell in a Cell review, which should come on tomorrow or today by the time this is uploaded, Thursday the 11th. So I need to get to editing this, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.